This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about the show that night. We had, some really good, feel good moments, I guess. We got Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman beating Shannon Moore and Evan Courageous. They also beat Kaz and Hayashi and Yang. They don't get a ton of time. It's 3 minutes and 38 seconds, but it's a nice feel good moment for Rey Mysterio, who's really been a big part of the show for a long, long time. Then we get Shane Helms beating Chavo Guerrero Jr. We get to show off that vertebreaker. Shane retains the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. They only get 4 minutes and 39 seconds. We got Sean O'Hare teaming with Chuck Palumbo to beat Lance Storm and Mike Awesome. They got 3 minutes and 21 seconds. As you might imagine, the Swanton Bomb from Sean O'Hare, which was a hot move at the time. We get Sean Stasiak beating Bam Bam Bigelow, one of Bam Bam Bigelow's last primetime matches. It's a little silly, but it happens. The pre-match stipulation is if Bigelow wins, then Sean has to get a tattoo. Then we see Ray and Billy defeat Elix Skipper and Kid Romeo, and they win the WCW Cruiserweight Tag Team Championship. That match, or that title, was actually just debuted at the last pay-per-view, so it's unfortunate that, we didn't get to see more of that. The belt sucked, but the idea of focusing more on this talent was really, really good. But then we see something that's sort of a feel-good moment, man. We see Sting and Ric Flair wrestle. They wrestled on the very first Nitro and, of course, on the very first Clash of the Champions. And it felt like for a long time, if a Turner station needed to pop a rating, I know what to do. Let's just put Sting in there with Ric Flair. And they did it here. And allegedly, Flair wasn't even ready to wrestle that night. He actually wound up wrestling in a T-shirt, which is very un-Flair-like. But, man, having Sting and Flair wrestle on the last Nitro, that's about as WCW as it gets, right?
Yeah, I think that was an excellent call. And it was, Sting was the guy that never left. He was the most loyal employee they ever had. I think Rick was one of the faces, certainly, of wrestling, period, worldwide, much less WCW. And I think to have that match was a very, very good call. And I know those guys really enjoyed it. And it wasn't lost on them that this being the last time, they might ever work together. Who knows? So you could tell it was emotional. A lot of guys watching that match that understood what it was. It was the end of an era. It was the end of a company that, had been around for a long time. And, people that knew the business were not happy that it was happening. And there was this sad cloud kind of floating over everything. But it didn't affect the talent, just like the cruiserweights. They went out and they used it as a vehicle to, hey, if this is going to be my last match, I'm going to tear the joint down. And that's what I always respected about all the cruiserweights, man.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.